Medhavi Saxena. She's the L&D head at Save the Children. She's implemented competency mapping, designed and implemented management programs, designed and developed various key initiatives pertaining to OD and change, including new performance management system, revitalization of JDs, workshop on RACI framework for role clarification.
And this is Medhavi, and like others, I'm also here to talk about the challenges and difficulties which COVID-19 posed on the sector which I work in, which is a development sector. So I work for an organization called Save the Children. So let me first brief you about the organization which I work for. So about the organization which I work in, I work for Save the Children Bal Raksha Bharat, and it's an 100-year plus old organization which was founded by Eglantine Jave, and it is present in 120 plus countries, and India is of course one of the strongest member countries out of the other countries where the Save the Children work in. About the work areas, it is called as thematic areas here. So as it is a child rights organization, we work for child protection, we work for child health and nutrition, and child education as well. So these are called as thematic areas. These are the specialized areas which we work in as an organization. So as we all know that COVID-19 is something which have posed different kind of challenges and difficulties to men, women, children in their different sphere of their lives. And as a result of that, the children were the one who were affected a lot out of that. So from the organization's perspective, I would like to divide the challenges in different areas. One is the operational area, and the second one is the programmatic areas, which is more specific to the organization. So when I say the operational areas, it was like uniform understanding of organizational on the use of digital tools and platforms. Secondly, the limited access to the network, internet connectivity, power failures sometimes. So because of all of this, it was sometimes it was a delay in information, sometimes miscommunication, which could happen easily while using digital platforms, and somewhere it is dissemination of information was not very appropriate. So I think these are few of the challenges which were common across the industries and across the organizations as well. Whereas if I talk about the programmatic challenges which were more specific to the sector or to the organization, so to say, which I work in, that is Save the Children India. So under thematic or the programmatic challenges, the first area, as I mentioned, we work for child protection. So we really found increase in gender-related violence and rise in child marriages to avoid the financial burden on parents. And second, when I say child health and nutrition, it was disruption in preventive interventions like vaccinations, issues of food security, increase in malnourishment, and child mortality ratios as well. About child education, schools have switched to online mode, and marginalized communities, remote areas are getting excluded from online sessions or lessons, especially when we go to the marginalized sector. They really did not have such kind of facility wherein they can get access to any online information or any online education which is available for them. So like any other function, L&D also got impacted a lot through COVID-19, be the way we used to work, or the budgetary constraint which has suddenly come up out of the COVID-19 outbreak. So I would like to divide the challenges or the impact of COVID-19 which posed on learning in two different categories. First is the organizational perspective. So when I say organizational perspective, of course, as I just mentioned, one of them was budgetary constraint, which we suddenly had to face. Second is high dependency on ILT or instruction-led or instructor-led programs, which was classroom sessions or classroom trainings. Lack of proper infrastructure, including system and bandwidth. The other is lack of experience as an organization to deal with such situation and to take the next step in very quick or short span. The other kind of impact which I really found one from the learner's side is inability to strike a balance between the work and life amidst the work from home situation, because one fine day the lockdown got announced, and employees of our organization were supposed to started working from home. So there is a very blurred line when one starts working from home and they have to manage the home stuff and as well as the office stuff, whereas there was no external help, like we couldn't have maids and all that stuff that time, which made situation all the more difficult. Second is, stress to the present situation, of course, because because of the pandemic of this nature was something, it was completely a different thing to be experienced. So everyone was like, it was more and more ambiguous from individual's perspective. And the limited familiarity with learning through digital platform. So some of them were quite equipped with such technologies, but some of them were relatively unfamiliar with such with such tools and technologies, so which made learning all the more difficult during such phases. And of course, one of them was bandwidth issue. So considering the various number of challenges which we faced, which L&D was facing, there are some initiatives which we have taken in our organization so far for upskilling our people or reskilling them. So I would like to quickly share around 4 or 5 initiatives which we have taken in our organization. So first of them was the learning avenues. So as I just mentioned that we have got our budget got reduced, and we have to upskill our people because as a social sector, it is more face-to-face sector, right? It involves emotions and all that more than I think. I mean, of course, it is required for every business, but when it comes to social sector, they don't even use word business. So it's even they call it the organization because they don't call it business anymore. So learning avenues, so right from the learning avenues, it was something which was free of cost available to all of us. It was the open sources. So we started curating the learning avenues. I mean, curating the different webinars or tools or recordings or courses which were available online on internet. And we started curating basis the relevant audience we have, and we started sharing with the concerned employees and maintaining the learning records. So that's how we got them engaged during the lockdown period, as well as we kind of upskilled their competencies. Second is when the lockdown announced, we were actually in mid of the phase wherein we were working on identification of training needs and doing the analysis. So we just stopped in between, and we had to continue the entire exercise while the lockdown got announced, and all exercise got completed during the by using the MS Teams and these apps like Zoom and all that. So we whatever has come as part of our TNA TNI, so we kind of derived the learning and development calendar from that. And instead of having instructor-led trainings or trainings, we kind of divided the training of, let's say we have one training which is of 8 hours. So we divided the training on 3 hours, or sometimes it was 2 hours each, and that's how we provided the nugget learnings to individual rather than having a one long session. And during that, we have provided some sort of assignment to the individual so that they feel engaged, and the content of the training also feels like these all is linked. Third initiatives which we have taken, of course, as any other organization, we also have learning management system in place. So we thought like there are some development goals which were there in the employees sheets, and we kind of collated them, and we started sharing the relevant link to the concerned employees. So that's how we actually leverage the internal resources what we already have. So one of them was learning management system. Fourth initiative which we have taken, we kind of stored whatever we have done as part of the monthly training schedule. Let's say we have done around 6 trainings this month. So next month, what we did was we kind of curated all the material which was relevant for the training. Like we took the DAC, we took the FAQs, we took the recordings from the SME who has conducted the training last month, and we created a link and stored that in a learning repository, probably on the shared drive. So that is somewhere, that's where we have made it easy accessible. The initiative was taken while keeping the post-training success in the core. Like we thought, this will be helpful to ensure the post-training success as well as to this. So that's what the learning repository thing. Then virtual onboarding, during the virtual onboarding, because all of them, we were supposed to be onboarding all the employees virtually. So we kind of devised a different format of induction, wherein we proposed an induction week. So in every function was given a designated day for the induction of the new joiner, so that the time of the individual as well as the resource person who is responsible to conduct the induction will be utilized in an effective way. So that's what we have done as an initiative in the last 6 months. Next is there are a few initiatives which are in pipeline. So few of them are like leadership development program, management development program. Given that the hirings are freezed and we have to develop internal talent, so considering that we really focused or put our energies more on LDPs, MDPs, we also proposed a concept of Excel Shala, and wherein the people will be learning the Excel concept to make them more effective while they work on operational level, to present data or dashboards in a more effective manner. The other thing which we are proposing is tea training. So tea trainings it's a huge umbrella. Under this, we are keeping different sort of trainings while it is about using MS Teams, using Skype, Zoom, Google Hangouts, Google Meet. Sometimes it was creating MS Forms just to take the feedback, and all this will come under tea trainings umbrella. So, and third is the learning enthusiast concept, wherein it was initiated with the thought, we kind of to incentivize employees in a non-monetary manner. So this is one of the initiatives which is in the pipeline. So I mean, as they say, I mean, these are the tough times, and of course this shall too pass. So if I consider my learning and development, so we have a huge growth in terms of the learning hours generated. We have a huge growth in terms of the learning, the trainings conducted so far in the last 6 months. So I would like to conclude my part with that saying which Elliot Mazes says, like, we need to bring the training to employees this time, or to people, instead of we bring people to trainings. So with this, I would like to conclude my part, and I would be happy to have questions, if any. Thank you so much, Supriya and Nitin.